Hi, everybody. This is Allison from Cat Creations. How are you? Please like, share, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And if you get anything from my work, a connect the dot, an epiphany, a mind explosion, a new book to read, a new author to explore, please consider supporting my work. All the links are at the bottom of the description on ways you can help me. If you're interested in fun, cool art pieces that can speak in your house, this is a skull with a big amethyst inside with copper. I got this. These are all coming out new. Got lots of gems and copper in that one. I do fun gem business card holders. Big, huge pyramids. This one just came off the press. I got hearts for days. I like the colors in the background. So I got a lot of those. Paintings, different types. Those are real feathers. I had to paint them. And insulation foam on with oil. Dream catchers with painted feathers. I like painting feathers. Lots of protection pyramids over there I made. Doing a commission for somebody. It's not done yet, but when it is, I hope I could show it before I send it off. Those people don't watch my channel, so I'm not blowing a surprise or a gift to anybody. That's why I don't show a lot of the drawings I do, because they're presents. So if you would like that, AlleyCatCreations211.com is where you can look at my portfolio, excuse me, and see all the artwork that I do. And if you are interested in an accent piece, something to protect your brain from EMF, healing, I love gems. I have them everywhere in my house, and it helps me ground. So if you're interested, check me out. Email me, because I don't sell online. I do it privately, because fuck the government. I'm feeling a lot better. Still coughing, but not. I had almost 6 hours of nonstop coughing yesterday, and whatever I took yesterday worked. Which a combo of supplements and stuff. So yeah, fun times. Okay, I'm really excited. Sorry. Long day, very long day. I hear a kitty. Long day. I had a twin bed in my closet room, because this house only has 3 closets and they're very tiny. There's no pantry space. There is no linen closet. There's really nothing in this house to store things. So I have to create a room to put it all in there. And the bed was taking up a lot of space. Well, who the hell is coming in my house? Really nobody. And I have 2 queen beds and bean bags all over the house. And I have an air mattress just in case. So I didn't need this bed. It just shit put on it. So I decided to get rid of it. Now the mattresses are sitting outside in a bag. Thankful for my neighbor to help me get that out. Cleaned up a lot. Just, I'm off tomorrow, so I'm trying to take advantage of the time that I have, because during the week it's not so fun. So long day, but message of Aquaria, chapter 31, Lucifer. I don't know, like I always probably preface, I channel Archangel Hillel. I am fractalized with the essence that is Archangel Hillel. I'm not evil. Just because we deem what we were told as the adversary, the evil one on the planet, Lucifer. And those who follow and practice Luciferianism has also skewed and turned a lot of stuff inversions. Everything's inverted in some fucking form or fashion. I'm a sailor tonight. I'm in rare form. A lot of people can't comprehend, and that puts them off to listening to me or taking me seriously because they think I'm an ancient and evil. I can tell you no, and that the fact is that we all play a role on divine stage of God, source, the infinite intelligence, the monad, the all that is, whatever you want to classify that as in your perception. I don't only just have Hillel, I have a bunch of angels that work through me and archangels. That's the collective that my soul essence sits in at the moment. I'm also connected to my oversoul and the celestials, and there's like a hierarchy, just like we sit with source and then we individuate. The individuation, there's a lot of subsections and sections and subsections and sections of energy. They happen to be one of them, and it's closest to our density in terms of 4, 5, 6, because that's where we're now going and leading into, and they're the ones steering many of us. Also, the galactics, they're the closest in vibratory resonance with higher information that will not askew the scheme of life. They're not infringing in our free will because they understand the experiential simulation that we're in, the illusory that we're in, and they are guides. They're not here to distort and ruin our contracts or give us stuff that we can't handle. So just take that in mind. I have an affinity. I used to be hellish afraid of the term Lucifer. And then when I heard the Vatican and every participant thereof during Easter Mass saying, "Oh, Lucifer, son of the morning," and singing his names and praises, not understanding a fuller picture, they may be onto something. So these are Christian mystics that wrote this book. They're extremely informative. I don't know what direction they're going to take this in. I'm going to have an open mind, of course. I know the little infinite expression that Hillel drops into me. That's just one frame of aspect of him that I have within this vehicle. A fractal of the essence of Lucifer. A fractal. Just like some people have a fractal of Yeshua, which I also do. Yeshua, Lucifer, disfractalized, because how many people channel Lucifer or well, I'm going to keep Lucifer out of it for the moment. How many people channel Yeshua and the story is different? Everybody who channels and says that they have a connection to Yeshua says their perception differently. I listen to a whole bunch of people who channel those entities, and the story changes. Does that make any of them invalid? Absolutely not. It doesn't. It's a fractal of an expression. That's a perception that someone owns in their etherical vehicle getting channeled within. It's a perception, an interpretation thereof of the fractal consciousness that lies within. I know that's very hard to comprehend for many people, but go look at different people who channel Yeshua, and you're going to get the different stories. There's a lot of similarities in those stories, but there's a lot of perception, and I have a lot of sparklies in my eyesight. I'm like seeing glitter. Glitters and sparkle fart. Yeah, I'm animated. Still, sinus infection. Lucifer, quote, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? And quote, Isaiah. Quote, it is a favorite popular delusion that the scientific inquirer is under a sort of moral obligation to abstain from going beyond the generalization of observed facts, which is absurdly called a Bakian induction. But anyone who is particularly acquainted with scientific work is aware that those who refuse to go beyond demonstrated fact really get as far as fact. Anyone who has studied the history of science knows that almost every step therein has been made by the anticipation of nature, that is, by the invention of hypotheses, which, through venerable, often have very little foundation to start with, and quote, Collected Essays, Huxley. In these wondrous times, every day brings to light new conceptions of universal laws, and the discovery of science border so closely on the miraculous that in such cases, the supposedly ridiculous claims of the early philosophers, occultists, and alchemists are being reproduced in our scientific laboratories and are openly taught as scientific varieties. When science herself is finding it necessary to change her textbooks every few years. Yes. When the minds of men are constantly expanding to embrace a wider and more comprehensive conception of the universe, there is an ever-increasing number who refuse to accept former religious teachings unless they are given not merely dogma and creed, but a rational and scientific explanation of the basis of their claims. Such persons feel instinctively that while the Bible may be a truly inspired book whose teachings can be corroborated by their agreement in most fundamental points with the teachings of the order and older scriptures of the world, yet the dogmatic exposition of its truths fasten like a millstone around the neck of Christendom during the Dark Ages by minds of limited outlook and understanding has undoubtedly hampered, if not prevented, the development of freedom of thought, and hence has delayed any great and widespread advance in our conceptions of spiritual truth. Boom, 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 yes. I love them. It's the truth. If you read your Bible or your holy scriptures, I'm not biased on any one religion, mind you, and they say, thou shalt not kill. Yet in the name of God, people crusade across the continents and slaughtered people because they wouldn't conform, they wouldn't obey, they wouldn't bow down on their knees, and took on the expression of God that was being asked of them to practice. The universal truth is that all is source. All entities, religions, and deities we call upon, the entities there above that people give energy to, are all God, fractals of such. Also, all are different expressions of source. And the people who had the higher mind, Buddha, Krishna, some of the monks that go deep within their inner knowing to give you those mysteries and give you those teachings, Yeshua, it doesn't matter. People were slaughtered, killed, witches, what people deem as that, if we come to America and cross the beautiful vastness of the Atlantic Ocean and you go to Salem, Massachusetts, those women were not witches, they were healers. They tapped into an innate knowing that you can go to the forest and forage for herbal medicine. Oh, but it's heresy. I just want to point something out, and I resonate with this. I was told many different times by many different people, oh, you're very freckled. I don't have freckles on where the sun doesn't really touch, but I have a lot of freckles. I'm very freckled. It's hard to see in the camera, but I have a lot of freckles. 9 times out of 10, I was probably one of those people burned at the stake. I know I was stoned to death in the time of Yeshua. That's where I know Hillel from. I was an oracle. And I also very much have an affinity for Isaiah and Daniel. If they were prophets and those were sociably accepted at that point in time and they were prophesizing, they're just picking up on timelines of things that could be potentialities. Sorry, I'm going off tangent, but this, again, I'm being channeled. Why doesn't anybody claim to be channeling Isaiah or Ezekiel or Daniel? Not sociably acceptable. It's politically incorrect to channel those energies. Just saying. I have an affinity for Isaiah, especially. I didn't grow up with the Bible. I started reading certain passages and heart aligned. So go figure. Who knows? I don't bound myself by one thing because I'm all things. Back to the book. The old explanations not fitting in with new discoveries of science have little place in this age of enlightenment and great advance. Hence, among thoughtful minds, there is a growing tendency either to discredit or to be apathetic toward all religious teachings and to look upon the Bible as mere collection of myths pertaining to past and primitive ages. Especially this true of the old dogma, which makes Lucifer, Satan, and the devil a trinity of evil, which usually triumphs over the trinity of good. The interpretation of the Christian church alone stands sponsor for this dogma, for a careful study of the Bible fails to corroborate it convincingly. Indeed, in every place where either Lucifer, Satan, or the devil is mentioned, a little thought can separate them and to give each his proper place. Yet all three have their part to play in the unfolding, purifying, illuminating, and expressing of the one divine consciousness of the real man. I like where this is going. In this chapter, we will endeavor to correct some misconceptions by presenting the cosmic principles upon which this important subject is based, and to point out some of the truths concealed in its wonderful symbology. As students of cosmic philosophy, we should not be confused by the old church dogma, but should clearly distinguish between Lucifer, Satan, and the devil. Lucifer is called sun or star of the morning, the shining one, also the day star. Indeed, many years ago in the early editions of the Bible, the passage which now reads, quote, until the day dawn, the day star arise in your hearts, end quote, was more correctly translated, quote, until the day dawn, the divine Lucifer rise in your hearts, end quote. And this is the translation used today in the Greek church. Lucifer is therefore regarded as a divine being, as archangel, a son of God. Satan, or Saturn, is referred by Job as one of the sons of God, archangels, who, because of his office, becomes the tester, the adversary, the accuser, and initiator. The office of the Christ. This office is one which requires great devotion, for it means the conscious and willing take upon himself a great planetary angel, all the ignominy, hatred, and censure of the world's misconceptions. Think what it would mean to such a being to stand as a devil, Satan. Yet as tester, his office is most important one. For whom the Lord law loveth, he chasteneth and scourged every son whom he receiveth. Furthermore, we have human fathers who correct us, and we give them reverence, and shall we not much rather be in subjugation to a divine father? David recognizes this office of tester when, in speaking of his enemy, he says, "Set thou a wicked man over him, and let Satan stand at his right hand to test him." It was Saturn who tested Jesus when in the wilderness, the reply of Jesus being, "Get thee hence, Satan," for Jesus had met the test and conquered. Also, when Peter was influenced to tempt Jesus to put forth his power, that he might avoid the persecution, trial, and crucifixion, Jesus again recognized the tester and replied, "Get thee behind me, Satan." In fact, in nearly all texts where Satan is represented as tempting, the word should be translated testing. I give a round of applause to this interpretation. That the devil was not looked upon as an individual expression of evil is quite plain, for in most places the devil is represented as the manifestation of many evil forces or oppositions to good or God. This is especially noticeable in the several instances in which Jesus cast out devils, plural. In fact, the devil is generally spoken of in the plural, just said that, although, like all forces, it is supposed to have an entitized ruling intelligence or prince, in this case, Beelzebub, meaning Lord of the Flies or insects. Oh, here's just in the house. By the way, pause. I'm going to pause a lot because I'm so invested in this. So unfortunately, my medium died, but my medium has been whispering. He's been contacting me, thank gosh. And I did have that. I was supposed to have Behemoth throw me off my tracks, like throw me off. So I couldn't do my mission or, you know, what have you. And I still feel the evil influence for the 3D work nonsense that is going on in my life. But I'm not trying to feed it energy. I'm just trying to push forward and make sure that I can be stable, which is not really working out that well in my favor, but I'm not giving it energy. Anywho, Beelzebub, I had a fly issue in this house. Bad. That's wicked energy right there. But yes, they come in principalities. If you actually talk to an actual Satanist, they're one entity that encompasses all, just like Source, but it is of Source. It's an adversary. It's the left hand. It's the negative polarity. They all have a purpose. They're tests. They shake you up to take you off course. Because if you're a true divine, following the laws of nature, going about you, doing your work, You're always going to have a catalyst to throw you off, to test you to see if you really are A, healed, B, moving forward with your mission, or it's going to set you back. There is no wrong path, by the way. That just means you need more teaching when you're thrown off course, or you need a lesson presented to you in a different way. I love I get hair in my eyes from my own head. Back to the book. According to the esoteric teachings, we find that 7 sacred planets with their rulers, marshaled by divine spirit, the rulers being individualized divine manifestations or aspects of the one God. This is going to kill me. We can readily understand this if we remember that every one of us has many aspects or expressions. For instance, in the bosom of his family, a man expresses love, affection, tenderness. In business, he expresses the impersonal business code. In recreation, he seems but an overgrown boy, while on other occasions he may have to express stern and impersonal justice without regard to his personal feelings. Yet all the time he is the same man, but expressing or showing the world different aspects. In a similar, although to a far more entitized degree, the rulers of the 7 sacred planets are aspects of the one God. The church calls them the 7 spirits of the presence. And Thomas Aquinas says that God never works but through them. They are also called the hosts of heaven, and by the ancients, the Cabrari. The Cabrari were always the 7 planets as known in antiquity, who, together with their fathers, the sun, referred to elsewhere as their elder brother, composed a powerful Agnad. Totally, I'm pronouncing that wrong. As we have pointed out more fully elsewhere, every active power, principle, and attribute of the earth, the latest born of the planets, as well as man, is derived from or through one of these Cabrari or regions. Each gets its specific quality from the primary, the planetary spirit. Therefore, every man is a septi or a combination of principles, each having its origin in a quality of that special Diane. Light comes through Venus, who receives a triple supply and gives 1/3 of it to Earth. Therefore, the two are called twin sisters. Not only is this the teaching of occultism, but astronomers confirm the fact that the Earth gets 1/3 of its light from Venus, although just how they do not know, nor do they know the occult significance of this fact. Every world has its parent star, sister planet. The Earth is adopted child and younger brother of Venus, but its inhabitants are of their own kind. The regent loved his adopted child so well that he incarnated as Ushanas and gave it perfect laws, which were disregarded and rejected in later ages. Thus, the Cabrari are said to have appeared as the benefactors of men, and as such they lived for ages in the memory of nations. Each of these forces is presided over and manipulated by the regent of the planet once it comes. In other words, God has given these great angelic beings charge of the evolution of their youngest brother and its inhabitants, each bringing to him a definite gift over which he must watch and for whose use by mankind he is responsible. Indeed, it is upon these great cosmic truths, so well taught in all ancient religions in symbol and allegory, yet so overlooked by modern schools, that the many fairy tales are founded, in which a child is visited at its birth by its fairy godmother, who gives it a magical gift, the use of which will bring good or ill according to its use, and a magical call, which the fairy will always obey. Thus, when mankind disregarded the law given it by Lucifer, Ushanas. The allegory tells us that Ushanas performed a yoga rite, imbibing the smoke of their chaff with its head downwards for 10,000 years. Nope, sorry, 1,000 years. In other words, he had to partake of the results of mankind's misuse of the light of mind. He had conferred upon it, because man had allowed the mind, which should be above higher manas, or always in touch with the divine, to be turned downward lower manas, and there become entirely enmeshed in matter and dominated by it, karma manas. While man drives his spiritual soul, Buddha, from the essence of the sons of wisdom, who are the divine beings or angels ruling and presiding over the planet Mercury, and while his ray of divine life, light, and immortality, Atma, comes from the sun or its substitute, the higher and lower aspects of mind, manas, are derived from the essence of the hierarchy ruling Venus. Now, pause there. We're seeing Blavatsky, her work start influxing in here right now, because a lot of this is Blavatsky in the descriptions, just watered down so we can understand it, because some of that stuff we can't understand so much. Maybe some of you. Venus is called the morning and evening star, and the hierarchy of Venus rules the higher and lower manas. The color Venus is indigo, while those of higher and lower manas respectively are indigo and green. Indigo is obtained principally from the genus Indigofera, a group of plants of the highest occult properties, well known in India and much used in white magic. Eastern symbologists from the earliest ages have connected the spiritual and animal minds of man, the one with dark blue, Newton's indigo, or true blue, free from green, and the other with pure green. The higher or spiritual mind continually aspires to the divine and is represented by the blue vault of heaven, while the lower mind tends toward and is represented by the earth, where green in all its endless variety of tints prevails and forms a beautiful setting for flowers of every hue. Just so man's mind must be cultivated and developed to form a background or setting for every thought, if we are to get the full understanding of truth. And like the green of the grass and trees, a cultivated mind, or one which has been trained to think constructively, enhances every color and shade of thought. Therefore, the lower mind, when put to its highest development, like the beautiful green of nature, makes a perfect blending of earth and heaven, or of the lower mind and the spiritual mind. And since the divine mind holds for us many mystic truths and only waits to shower them upon us, so the color indigo holds many occult and mystical potencies. Indeed, by the ancients, this color was held to be sacred, and the names India, Indus, India, the god of the firmament, are derived from the same root. One name for the region of Venus is Enlil, but he is represented by two great complementary archangels, Lucifer masculine and Uriel feminine, which is in essence are one. I can debate this. Of these, only the masculine or Luciferian aspect has manifested on Earth as yet, for the feminine ray under the rulership of Uriel is so far in advance of the Earth's present evolution that it has not as yet been manifested through mortal teachers. At one time, an inspirational message was received from Uriel by the order of mystic Christian mystics, in which, among many other things, she said, "If I could find but one spot on earth where I could touch but the toe of my foot, awakened but a slight understanding, The impress of that touch would remain forever in the understanding of what Uriel could bring to the children of men, would grow and grow in the hearts of mankind. And all the pollution of men could never hide it, for pollution would melt away like snow on summer day, nor could the salt waters of tears and sorrow wash it out. I whisper dreams of an ideal heavenly love, but they, alas, are misunderstood, and only too often are degraded and overlaid with lust and passion. Therefore, when I speak to mortals, the planetary gods place their mighty hands on my lips, and alas, language is inadequate, and man has not yet evolved to the point where he can properly interpret my vibrations. A realization of this divinely human and humanly divine love, sorry, there's my dyslexia there, is the bridge of swords which crosses the abyss of perverted human love, and the feet understanding of those who would cross it must be wounded, and their hearts' blood must flow until the purified hearts of a majority of mankind can see the grasp of ray of this divine love. Try to learn the lesson now, O mortals. Learn it now if ye can, and save all the sorrow and pain, the anguish and bitter regrets through which you are now solely being taught it. Okay, I'm going to pause again. Sorry. I knew I was going to do this. All right. So it is. This is a challenge because not only do I have a lot of archangels that work through me. I have many fractals from all of them within me because I'm of that collective. I was not told which archangel I most have my higher fragment in. But I can tell you this. This is the tough part because now they're channeling me. So Hillel is saying that his masculine is also encompassing Michael in a higher fragmented, like they're one essence in the masculine essence, like they're dominant in both. So one is the light, one's the shadow. Okay, yeah, he's making sense now. He's saying he was the shadow and Michael was the light, even though they're both light, they're the same being, they're the same expression, but just differentiated between shadow and light in terms of third density experience of our understanding. Whereas Gabriel and Uriel are also the light and the shadow. And Uriel is the shadow and Gabriel is the light of the feminine aspect of the entity we want to deem as Lucifer. If that makes sense. When I heard a few people channel Hillel and saying that Hillel's soul was in Yeshua, that makes a complete utter sense to me, at least. It might not to many people, but once again, your soul is a compendium of a shit ton of entities. It's not, it's you in form, but as you are all things. You're all things. You're the blade of grass. You're the ant. You're the tree. You're the wind. You're the fire. You're in first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, and to infinity and beyond. In all densities, in all timelines. You're everything. And you're individuated and separated to play roles. when they came down, individuated in they're not as individuated as we are classified. Our shadow and our light are within us. When they differentiated, they were the same source of light with a shadow aspect and a light aspect. Feminine and masculine. That's how brilliant their energy is. We're here, we're in this little minuscule little body playing in an ego. And Sandalphon, I think, stopped working with me. I don't have that much of an aspect of Sandalphon, but Sandalphon was working with me because they're creative. Gabriel and Ariel very much in my presence a lot. Because I'm bringing in the divine feminine and I'm trying to take more of a feminine role in my life instead of having to be both. Because I am a female having to live alone and do all roles. Not easy. Because I'm not the damsel in distress. I mean, I should be, but I'm not, because who cares? You know, when I ask for help, it's very seldom I get it in physicality form. That's why I got the arms going again. I got my muscles coming back. Okay, sorry. Back to book. Quote, but do not try to learn it alone. There must always be another to join hands. This great force of love and wisdom, higher manas, which comes from the planet Venus, must ever come as a dual ray because this earth is the planet of duality. Hence, it can only reach mankind through the twain who shall be made one. Okay, I got another connection. We'll wait. Not one in bodily structure, but one in mind and spirit. Love without wisdom works evil, and wisdom without love works coldness and selfishness. But together they become the golden apples, or perfect sphere of life. To manifest this, the force between two must be exchanged in a way now unknown to man, to be understood only as the present crude exchange is purified and consecrated until the angel of life can say, come up higher. When the earth children misinterpret my whisperings, my veil falls to my feet, and I am obliged to return to the gods with bowed head and in disgrace. Then they push me to the rear, although they know well that someday I will be crowned queen of them all. And in the day, the humanity of this dark star will receive my message and rise eagerly to the heights. Sorry, I'm channeling high frequency energy and it's a little baffling. Reconstructing reality, because they talk about Venus a shit ton. Fifth density Venus. The violet ray. A lot of spiritual people, I do it too. I saw it a few times. The ray of violet light. Use it. Read that book because you're going to understand Venus to another capacity. It's not just a planet. Just like this planet, yeah, we have life. Okay, but they do too, but in a higher density. So what we see in the projection thereof, in my estimation, in my opinion, in my perception, what they want you to think is Venus is just a gaseous thing where no life can be. And that's false, because in a higher dimensional space, there is living entities on there. And most of us come from Venus. And not to say that we're Venusian and that is our home planet, just like Arcturus. A lot of people channel the Arcturians, but those Those places, just to make it simple, are portals to here. So your fifth dimensional self can come down here and fix some things, and reconstructing reality. I believe that book. I heart align with it. And you do travel, and Daniel Scranton, who channels the Arcturians, even Alexandra Quinn at some point channels the Arcturian, says Arcturus is, that galaxy is a portal to here. So you are a visitor over there. You're hanging out in 6th, 7th density up in Arcturus. And then you come through and you veil through into the portal system. That's where the real war is. But we fail to recognize that because it's not tangibly seen in your reality. So you focus on the distractions that they give you. Back to the book. Sorry, I'm going off a tangent again. Intellect alone is cold and selfish, being devoid of the warmth of its love aspect, Uriel. Therefore, most highly intellectual people who are ruled by Venus, born in the signs Taurus or Libra, or having Venus powerfully placed in their horoscopes, find it difficult to understand or correlate with the true love, nature, for although they are strongly sexed, its expression tends largely toward mere animal passion. Therefore, if such persons are at all advanced and are earnestly seeking the higher life, they are very apt to denounce all use of the sex forces, call them evil, and strenuously try to kill them out. And since this is impossible, as long as the sex forces have not yet been brought to their very highest manifestation and truly consecrated or made holy to the Lord, divine law of life, the result is frequently either suppression of those forces, or else the sex force that should be and is called forth as creator by divine love is perverted, hence creates instead abnormal self-love and greatly clouds the ability to judge, so that all things seem to be but caterers and to builders up of this self-love. And we find persons claiming and even truly believing that they are superhuman beings because they have apparently killed out or pulled from them the principal lesson given to the humanity of this planet by Venus, and have turned their backs upon divine love and wisdom in their own judgment, have improved on the divine law or manifestation. Lucifer is one of the cherubim of Venus, while Uriel is one of the seraphim. The seraphim loved most, while the cherubim knew most. Hence they combined as love and wisdom. The cherubim aid and guide the evolution of mankind through love, while the seraphim guide through knowledge. And because of this intimate tie between the currents of mind and love from Venus, every sin and every misuse of mind, as well as every perversion or refusal to express love on earth, is said to be felt on Venus, and vice versa. In fact, one of the greatest reasons why Uriel has not been able to manifest on earth as Muriel is because the mind of man is still so strained with thoughts of impurity in regard to love that the near approach of her auric vibrations only stimulates the average mind to lust. Only when Lucifer has been able to so purify the mind of man through knowledge of the law that it can bear the vibrations of love without perversion, can he accomplish his true mission. But he cannot fully accomplish it without the help of his complementary manifestation, Uriel. In reconstructing reality, you have a divine complement. You have your masculine and your feminine, and then you combine to be one. So his mission cannot be done until we wake the fuck up. While Saturn is the first of the Calibri to go forth at the command, let there be light, that a boundary to the system may be set and inertia and stability given to its substance. It was Lucifer, star of the morning, or the light bearer who fell or descended to give mankind the light of mind In other words, it may be said that Saturn established the boundary and gave stability to the dwelling, and Lucifer put in the lights when the builders had made it sufficiently ready. Hence, Venus is often referred to as Venus Lucifer. Although Venus is the most occult, powerful, and mysterious of all the planets, the one whose influence upon and relation to the Earth is most potent, its influence is the least known and understood, both because of the mystery of Lucifer and Uriel, and because from a purely astronomical point of view, Venus is the most difficult of all the planets of the system to study. For although it comes very close to the Earth, yet at those times when it does, so it hides behind the Earth. In fact, Venus comes so close to the Earth that for many generations, astronomers thought that she was but a satellite of the Earth. But in occult lore, Venus is known to be the sister of the Earth, and it is said to have adopted the progeny of the moon, referring to the fact that humanity of this globe passed an earlier phase of its evolution on the moon chain. A transit of Venus can be seen astronomically only when the Earth and Venus pass a node of their orbits at the same time. The Earth passes the line of nodes about the 7th of June and the 7th of December, when Venus passes a node near enough to these dates to be seen against the sun only 4 times in 243 years. The next such transit being June 8th, 2004. This will be a period of great enlightenment in this mysterious subject and will bring a great advance to the mind of men. Interesting. I have to go back and look at that history. The light that came from Venus when the animal man was evolved to a point where he was ready to begin the evolution of mind was the Luciferian ray, which completed the manifestation of the Trinity in man, which makes him more than an animal. For this threefold ray constitutes his higher self or immortal soul, Atma from the sun, Buddha from Mercury, and Manas from Venus. Being dual, the light of mind can reach both upward and downward, but when it entered into man, it became so enmeshed in the sensations of the physical world and desires of the animal soul that it forgot its divine origin and its spiritual complement, love, and this developed as mere intellect, ignoring 2 co-workers, love and spiritual life. The Luciferian influence, therefore, made man proud and arrogant, filling him with ambition, self-aggrandizement, and all that selfishness and pride of intellect, which reached such an extraordinary development in the Atlanteans, and which was largely responsible for the degradation of women, love, and the regulating of her to the position of slave, or mere puppet of man. To be continued. I'm going to leave it there. Holy crap. Wasn't expecting that. And yes, 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 yes. I don't like the word fall because we all fell. Once you're at a source, you fell. You individuated. So God can know itself through all things, both good and evil, duality. But now we're going up the sand, the timer of sand, we're going back up. We didn't get flipped. We're now ascending up. So we have to get back to love. That's the hugest challenge in this fucking paradigm I can't stand anymore. I'm over it. I'm done. Why? Why do you hate? Oh, well, they're killing these people. They're doing this. They're doing that. It's all fucking illusion. Sorry, I'm cursing a lot because I'm like at my wit's end. We don't die. Stop fearing death. This dies, your vehicle dies, your soul moves on. It's infinite. It's going to jump into another form once you're dead. Once this dies and turns white and blue and the maggots eat it, or you burn away in the ashes. Your soul, your energy doesn't die. It transforms. It's transmuted into light, into energy. Then it takes another form. Many of us are not going back to form. Depending on your contract, we're going back to light. Hallelujah. I can't wait. I'm so excited. You have no idea. I'm done. Here, done. And if I get another form because that's what I chose and I'm not aware of it because I have, we're all veiled to an extent, because I would infringe on your free will to make choices and what timelines you need to jump into. And again, there is no wrong timeline or wrong contract. I just chose a very ridiculously hard life. Most of us did. But even if I chose to be a mantoid or a gray or Draco or whatever the have you, that's what I chose. We got to stop hating, like viscerally. Get out of your animal mind. Understand everybody has a soul contract. Understand that what you are reading, they're taking it and giving you the occult esoteric definitions, which hold more weight than a Bible does. I'm sorry. That's just my perception. If you read Norse mythology, Loki, the trickster, he does bad, but then he kind of redeems himself. It's like repentance. He cut Freya's hair, or was it Freya or Frey? Cut the locks off. Goodbye. No more locks. Oh, I'm going to go to the elves. I'm going to give you something better. But what? Loki is one of those things, elements that tests your perseverance. The adversary was put here for a divine mission to make duality work, because you can't have one without the other here for understanding, learning the illusion. Once you get the concept that you're here to learn, you're here for experience, and many times you're the one imparting a lesson on other people. I'm one of those people. I learn a great ton from others, but I'm usually one that sets people up on their path of like higher thinking. Or you fucked me over. You're hurting my feelings. You say that you're this and that, but really? Where I'm at in my journey is trying to come back in like Neo to the Matrix. And it's not at the time yet where humanity is ready to hear the higher ended truths, the expanded viewpoint. Many people do, but they don't emote it. They are not embodying it. They might understand it intellectually. Like I can read a card and know it for what it is. This is to be fair, right? But my perception of fair and my definition of fair might differ from everybody else around me. They're only perceiving that definition to the level of vibration that they're at. Where I'm seeing fair at this huge expansion, somebody might see it in this little limited viewpoint. This is the hard aspect about why many of us are frustrated, done, tired, exhausted, kind of being a hermit again, pulling out of society, but like jumping into the sleepy land, because at least sleepy land isn't going to ignore you. They're intrigued. They're like, oh, you're woo-woo. I'm in that now. And even in my past relationship, very woo-woo concepts, not necessarily shut out, but just I have an open mind. I'll listen to you, but I don't know if I believe you. And the same with a lot of the people that watch me and that I interact with. They need to hear it from somebody that's credible, that they respect. But why don't they respect me? Is beyond me, because I can't bring that tangible evidence just yet. I don't sit like Bashar and start talking like Bashar, Daryl Anka, who I highly respect. The same with Quo. Beautiful. Go check out Brian Scott, because Quo did a fantastic channeling Brian Scott read. Holy shit, it was so good. Dolores Cannon. Oh, I see Kitty in the background. Dolores Cannon wasn't a channel, but says the same stuff. Linda Good McGillis. Listen to these people. They all rotate. It's said differently, but the concept and the meanings are just about the same. It's like I'm at this disheartened point. Like I know where I'm supposed to be, but why should my journey at this juncture in my life be so fucking difficult? Why did I sign up for this? And this is like this weekend, I'm trying to get those answers. Like, why did I sign up to have 41 years of fucking nightmare? Like, I feel like I'm on the right path. I feel like I'm doing things and I'm persevering. And then all of a sudden, like, my world crashes down and the bomb explodes. You know, I think the reason why I adopted cats was to make sure that I didn't do anything stupid to myself, because I have responsibilities to take care of those little kitties and I don't want to leave them. I think it was a little mode of like, yeah, you can kind of stuck here, bitch. But it's the truth. A lot of us, you know, when they say manifest and you go out and you put your energy and your best heart intention into things, and then it's not well received, or you do it a million different ways and you haven't found the right way yet. But in the interim of figuring it out, you need to eat. You need to function within this stupid paradigm that we all are stuck in. And more of us are dropping into those extremes. And I already been there 2 years ago. I lost everything because I made a choice and because of allergies and things that I didn't want to die. It wasn't my time. And I'm not going to put something in me that could cause me to die. So I didn't choose to take something. But that took everything away. Why did I write that in my script? Why did I write that every job that I obtain makes nothing? That I have to work a million different jobs and put myself forward and drain myself each and every day just to make a bill or two while I'm expending so much energy. It's beyond me why I chose these things. And I know spiritually, I need to be where I am right now. It's not going to make me much money. I have to figure out different modes of going out there and putting myself out there. But I'm supposed to help those kids. I know that. I was told that by many, many different people, that I am going to hold frequency for these children. And once they're around me for a while, they're going to start opening up and they're going to start thriving in the ways that they can. They're autistic. A lot of them don't talk. A lot of them can't communicate. And while everybody shoves an iPad to these kids' faces to, stop them from stemming or making noises because they're embarrassed, that's the fucking lesson. They chose you to be a parent. And I love my autistic moms and dads out there. They chose you because it was the most ultimate test for you. Did you learn your lesson? When I stopped defying my life that I have rheumatoid arthritis, and I have thyroid disease, and I have this, and I'm hurting, and I stopped complaining. And yeah, every once in a while you'll see me wiggling and jiggling in a chair, very uncomfortable. But I tell you I'm not feeling great, but I'm not sitting there to complain about it. And once I consistently stopped defining myself having these things, guys, I didn't need an acorn stair lift. I didn't need my walker. I didn't need a cane. I might have had to put on a brace or two. I'm functioning. I was bedbound. I was depleted. I didn't define myself anymore by those things. And I stopped complaining about my pain, because really everybody's in pain in some juncture in their life. They have body pain. Everybody does. Who doesn't have pain in their body at some point? Or creaky, stiff limbs? Some people are blessed and don't, but they have other difficulties. That's what they wrote in for themselves. Stop defining, giving yourself and saying that you're being poisoned, and have gratitude for what you have. Sorry, I'm going off on tangents because I'm being channeled very highly. I don't know. Human residence, let's check. I'm very curious because I don't channel like this very often. Oh, we're calm. So maybe it's just me free flowing right now. But guys, the story you were told is false. And until we really understand the delusion, the illusion, the inversion, and that you can't just define it to one or two things, it goes for everything. And even the concept of Lucifer that's expressed through certain modes and religions right now is not the purest form of what Lucifer is. And I only know that to be true because I can channel it, that energy. But he doesn't classify himself as Lucifer, it's Hallel. And sure, in other aspects, he has other names. So just like Yeshua, Jesus, Ben Joseph, um, it's hard to wrap your minds around how infinite and how extremely tedious this world is and how it actually operates. And we're only getting snippets of a very fine viewpoint of a bigger totality. So guys, sending each and every one of you love, light, compassion, grace, shielding, and protective energy. Please, please, please do the work to go within. Please start understanding yourself, what makes you tick, what aligns in your heart space, not this space, this space. Because once you have this intact, this in your gut is going to start aligning and working in succinct. Please be someone's physical shoulder today. Please be the lighthouse. You are anchoring, you're here to anchor the frequency of light and the vibratory state of light, because there are many advanced, upgraded children who need you. They can't advocate for themselves because many of them can't even speak. And many of us are here for that reason. We're going to aid them as they're going to aid us. They're beautiful souls. A high energy. They just don't like it here. I don't blame them, neither do I. But we're here and we have to make the best out of a situation that we chose. So please seed your truths. Be as honest as and blunt as you could possibly be, because at this point in time, if you get it, great. If not, you'll get there, I promise. And thank you to all the friends and people in my life who are going above and beyond to try to help me get back on my feet and supporting this channel and supporting me. It means the world to me. The last couple of weeks has been very devastating in terms of reevaluating where I give my energy to and who I'm feeding my energy. And at some junctures, I want to pull away from it all because I see everybody thriving and moving forward and getting opportunities. And I just see myself being lured away. And a lot of you know what I'm talking about. It's not because I don't want to join in and have fun and love everybody. It's because life at some point has to be addressed. And I can't spend hours behind a computer screen and not be productive and get things done in my life. To the benefit of everybody else but myself. 'Cause I'm not getting anywhere by doing what I do. I'm barely recognized. I'm not really, I'm thanked behind the scenes and I'm thanked by a lot of people, but I'm not being compensated in energy or just here. So I have to figure out what I want to do. And sometimes choices are forced upon me that I don't need or like, but have no choice because it's either I thrive and I eat and I can pay my bills, or I get my internet shut down and then no one gets anything, or they have to figure it out for themselves. So I'm at that juncture again, unfortunately. So I want to thank everybody, and I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I know we're all in tough times. I'm not alone, but I'm putting my best foot forward and trying to figure it out, and it sucks. But until the next time, guys, thank you very much. And I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.